Welcome, and thank you for clicking on this video. In the studio today, we have a Danelectro 56 short scale bass. Let's check it out. So this Danelectro 56 electric short scale bass belongs to a friend of mine. He's a local professional bassist. He has toured the continent with big name acts, and I'm so thankful that he considers me a friend, and he has loaned me this very cool short scale bass for me to check out. This, I believe, is the second iteration. The first iteration had a rosewood saddle piece, and the control layout was different. That first one had volume tone instead of having a pickup selector. This bass has a sticker telling me that it was made in Korea. It features what they are calling a plywood and hardboard body. It has a painted maple neck. The fingerboard is advertised to be Pal Ferro. However, looking at it, it is the darkest Pal Ferro I've ever seen. The scale length of this bass measures 29.75 inches, saddle to nut. The nut is interesting. It's made out of aluminum, and that's quite different than usual plastic and bone nuts. Electronic-wise, you have two lipstick-style pickups, and you have a pickup selector, and master volume and master tone. Now, as it was explained to me, this pickup selector is different than what you would typically expect. So in the up position is the neck pickup soloed, and the down position is the bridge pickup soloed, but in the middle is both pickups wired in series. So it does give you that extra beef to the sound. Now let's check out some of the sounds. As usual, I highly recommend using headphones or quality speakers. Let's start with the neck pickup soloed, master volume all the way up, tone all the way down. Let's roll that tone up to 50%, neck pickup. Tone knob wide open, neck pickup. Let's put the pickup selector in the middle, so both pickups, and let's start with the tone all the way up. Now compared to the neck pickup solo, there's quite a bit more volume, so that's part of the series wiring. Let's roll tone knob down to 50%, both pickups. Tone all the way down. Bridge pickup soloed, tone all the way down. Let's roll the tone knob up to 50. And tone wide open, bridge pickup. Now both of these sound like single coils, and I'm not sure if you can hear it over YouTube audio, but there is ground hum. As a player, I have always gravitated towards a Fender-shaped bass, both appearance-wise and sonically. And for most of what I do, a Fender bass will get the job done almost every time. In the past year or so, I've kind of been getting into playing Hofners as well. So between those two instruments, I really have most of my sonic ground covered for what I do. But sometimes I want a different sound. I want to be inspired by a different type of instrument that does something unique. And I think that's where this Danelectro 56 short scale bass might come in. So for these playing examples, instead of just running through the tones for you, I thought it would be interesting to put it up against a Fender style instrument, the same kind of instrument I would normally and typically play on this style of track, but today we're A-B it with the Danelectro. So for this first playing example, we're going to be in the rock genre, and if you use your imagination, just picture some pretty heavily distorted slide guitar playing over top. Now typically, I would reach for a Mustang style bass. But today, let's A-B it with this Danelectro 56. This bass is currently strung with the Adagio Chrome's flat wounds. And for this example, we'll run the pickup selector in the middle and with the tone knob all the way up. Here we go. For this second playing example, we're going to be in that kind of late 70s soft rock genre. Typically, I would reach for a P bass, and with short scales, I would reach for my Mustang bass that has a P pickup in it, and in this case, it would be the first generation Player Series PJ. For this example, we're going to run the pickup selector in the middle again, but we're going to roll the tone knob back to 50%. Here we go. For this third playing example, we're going to go into the bluegrass country type vibe. So if you can use your imagination, hear the banjo in your head. For this example, we're going to A-B this Danelectro up to my Hofner club bass. We're going to palm mute and play with a pick. Now the first two examples were straight into the computer using my Line6 Pod Go, no added EQ or compression. For this playing example, we're going to add a little bit of spring reverb, subtle, but just to give it that extra vibe. Here we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed those playing examples. Please let me know what you thought of the tones by leaving a comment below. I gotta say, this Danelectro definitely has a vibe all its own. So if you are looking for an instrument that does something different and sounds different than your typical Fender, give this Danelectro a try. I went into this not knowing quite what to expect from these lipstick style pickups, but I gotta say it has a nice round thumpy tone to it that I quite enjoy. And it has more of a pronounced upper mid-range that might allow you to cut through the mix a little bit better. And this color is awesome. Now in general, I think Danelectro has done a pretty good job reissuing and recreating that 56 vibe. Now I haven't played an original 56 style Danelectro bass before, but looking at photos, I think it captures the aesthetic. Now there are a few things that I don't quite get on with, and I'll share those with you. The first one is the string spacing. So this is measuring 16 millimeters here at the saddle, but the nut is measuring 1.65 inches. So the nut width is kind of in between a J bass and a P bass. I'm used to a slightly narrower nut, typically measuring about 1.5 inches and about 18 millimeter string spacing at the bridge. And I'm just used to that kind of upside down V. My other comment in terms of playability is that the angle of the fretboard rollover is a bit on the sharp side for me. So I would prefer a slightly rounder fingerboard. But otherwise, it's a nice neck curvature, it plays great. The controls are pretty intuitive, and I really like that you can adjust the intonation with this bridge instead of the one with the rosewood saddles. So getting the bass to play in tune is much easier with this bridge. But overall, I think if you're looking for an instrument that gives you that extra vibe and sets it apart from any other run-of-the-mill Fender style instrument, give this one a shot. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll catch you next time. Peace.